Well, it's here at last. We've been waiting a long time in the off-season, but we are back. The first race of the XRL Racing League F1 season. New game, new season, new drivers, new mechanics, and a brand new challenge. We are here at Marlborough Park, Melbourne, Australia. One of the legendary tracks in the F1 calendar, here since 1996. Past winners include Michael Schumacher, Jacques Villeneuve, Damon Hill, Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton, and Jenson Button. Who amongst us tonight is going to be here out the front? We've got new drama, of course. F1 Night, last season's champion, defending, but is he going to find it so easy to win this time? Because of course, we see some brand new challenges such as Mr. Ice Cold Andy, who's been setting the record books alight, and also we've got the new drivers coming back to the game, such as Tuppers and XRL Lightning, who are showing more pace on the new mechanics of the game. Good evening to you all. I'm Pete Markroft, and joining me in the box today is my good friend Sam Fisk. How you doing?
I'm great, thanks, Pete. I'm really excited tonight. It's been a bit of a shame, apart from the problems with Xbox. It has to be, doesn't it? But we've got
an echo, by the way, so you might want to.
I have, yes. I don't know. I'll look into that as we keep going, but I don't know why that possibly could be. But I'll keep looking into that whilst we go through qualifying. Right. Let's get onto the track anyway. If it is bad, WRL Rosberg's already lost connection like 5 times tonight, so yeah, we're already missing one.
Anyway, first of all, apparently it might be your night, this, by the way. I've got following XRL Too Much Elite. He's the first one I've got on track at the moment, just coming up towards the end of Sector 2. Now, last season on the F1 2012 game, at the end of Sector 2, there was that bug there where you could literally go flying through the chicane way left of the bollard. I've tried this online. You can't do it anymore. Get in. I hated that. So that's one of the things they managed to fix on the new game. And of course, XRL is driving for Sauber this year, the badass gun metal racing library they've got. I'm really a big fan of that. Be interested to convert the pace in there. It's on the option tyres. And this weekend, of course, you've got the very grippy but very fragile Super Shocks, and also the very hard primes, which are the medium compound.
Right. So, guys, you try and help me out a little bit more. Is it the cars that are echoing, or is it just me, or what is the situation here, guys?
Well, apparently, LGS says that he can't hear me. LGS, Earth to LGS. Anyway, meantime, XRL Too Much Elite. He's gone through turn 3, and got it wide, actually, there. Really got 4 wide. And then coming into the chicane afterwards towards the end of turn 5, up towards the end of sector 1. This is where you've got to really be on rails, on full track stuff. And we've got that problem where the times are causing gibberish. Apparently, his time is 2:5:03:05:6:5:4:5.46. Anyone know what it is? I really don't know. And apparently I'm
right.
So to go for it.
It's just your voice. Is that better, guys? I've just done a couple of things. I don't know if that's going to improve it or not.
Well, let's do a sound check. What does everyone think? Answer on the screen, please.
That should be alright. If it's not... No, it's not. Okay. I didn't think it would be. It never was that easy, is it? Swish. Don't think that's what it is. Right, we'll go back to the old conventional method. Wait a minute. Right, I think that should fix it. Try that out.
Well, keep on board with the lead. He's gone for a second lap because it looks like he got a bit of a corner cut there. And needless to say, he's managed to get a bit more grip, but going for a second lap on the option tyres, quite a dangerous thing to do because they are very, very fragile. Very, very soft. And of course, in the race time, 5 laps, 6 laps after that, you might be starting to struggle a bit. So he's been brave going for the longer run on the option tyres. And apparently we're all fine, so excellent. Let's keep going then. Right, well, in the meantime, Ice Cold Andy apparently is going very quickly because he's just coming up to turn 14 and his lap time is 32 seconds. I've heard it's fast, but I don't think it was that good.
I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I wanted to do the pre-show tonight, I had a few interviews. I had a few interviews with him.
Well, he did a 123.5 on the prime tyre to go provisional P3.
That isn't bad, is it?
Yeah, Danny Pearson did a 123.6 on the option, just to give you an idea. Toppers, meanwhile, one of the faster guys in GP2 last season and a couple of seasons earlier, is on 124.7 on the primes. He's always said he's been struggling for pace, which surprises me because he was someone who really knew how to rag the car out and really push on, but he's really not finding it easy so far.
No, he's baffled me a little bit. I've been hearing little rumours flying around that Tuppers haven't been able to put in the time and he really isn't at that same level as he was last year, and well, it's a little bit of a shame that those rumours look to be true at the moment, but it's a long season. I think once you sort of get into the routine of racing once a week, that might...
On board with Perez, he's gone very, very wide at the Jones corner, and that's completely thrown him off at Brabham, so he's really compromised his lap at the very beginning there at turns 1 and 2, and into the hairpin now at turn 3, and he's really struggling to get that McLaren pointing in. He's really finding it difficult to get the traction on the car, and he's gone all 4 wheels off to the left at turn 5, so he's backed off quite wisely, he's aborted the lap. But needless to say, he's finding it quite difficult as well.
Just going to finish watching Ice Cold Andy's lap time. I don't think it's going to be an improvement. Oh, he's done a 22.4 on the primes, okay?
Bloody hell, where did he find that from?
So he has now gone quickest by a 10th to Emu, though Emu being on the super soft red wall tyres. And that just outlines that clear advantage in qualifying that he has.
But again, we've said this before, you do not get any points for qualifying.
No.
It's about how you go in the race. Look at Mercedes this season at Spain. 1-2, looked like they were going to dominate. Hamilton limped home 12th. Just to show you how much of a disparity it can be between the qualifying and the race with the new season and the new tyres. A lot of people on outlaps at the moment. There's not many people actually on a lap.
No, I think it's that awkward time in the middle of qualifying where they've done about 7 or 8 minutes of it and it's sort of everyone's pitting in. Having said that, on the first stint, we didn't see many people go out. On the first set of laps, how many people? 5 people have qualified. I know a lot of people are thinking of saving tyres.
Perez is coasting down the pit lane and it's now... Well, I don't actually know what he's doing. He's coasting down. He's going literally 38 miles an hour and he's now sped up under the lights. What is he doing? He's going to get disqualified if he's not careful. He's now blocking the pit lane. I'm a complete loss to explain what he's doing here on my screen.
I'm trying to find
68.
Oh, here we are. Yes. Here we are. Now he's going, isn't he?
Yeah, well, the thing is, he was slow and then crossed the line. It was like he decided to give himself an extra lap to warm up, and I don't understand. I really don't get that. Meanwhile, F1 Nige, he's on a lap at the moment. He's not set a time. Driving for Mercedes this season, he's very excited about that. One of the premium members who shows his car. I would love to tell you what kind of time he's doing in Sector 1, but, well, I'll read it for you. 2503056, and now it's gone to 1 second after completing Sector 1.
Ridiculous.
Don't ask me. So anyway, into the chicane. Oh, he's gone backed off here actually. It sounds like he's backed off to me.
I never thought he was on a lap. It looked very, very slow. Very odd, as if it was sort of ghosting maybe? I don't know.
Possibly. It's been a bit screwed. I'm saying with the connection issues, that's so bad. Meanwhile, Toppers is coming up for a second run. He's on the option tyres now. Just crossed the start-finish line and heading towards the Jones and the Brabham chicane, and he's made it through there quite nice. Got a bit of the inside curve, but got away with it. And now he's at the DRS down towards turn 3, a very tight corner this. And the sectors 1 and 3 at Melbourne, you can have the low downforce with a medium style, or you can go for the very high downforce for sector 2 and try and use it to get close on the DRS. Be interested to see how that goes in the race. But in the meantime, at the moment, Tuppers now is coming towards the end of sector 1. Again, I'd love to tell you what kind of time he's doing, but I've no idea. And he's managed to take as much of the inside curve as possible without being thrown off the track.
Yeah, that looks quite good.
Yeah, it's coming up towards the Scarra chicane, and that's strange. It was actually a Scarra chicane at Melbourne, would you believe? And one at Monza as well.
Yeah.
So coming up towards the end of sector 2, this very high-speed chicane. Let's ride on board here. Let's listen to the engine. One short lift there, and he's through. Magnificent pace. Now coming down towards the back corners of Hill and in towards Mansell hairpin. Not so bad at all. Done quite well there. Now coming into the final to convention, the Prost chicane. Strangely, they've not got one for Senna here at Melbourne, but they've got a load named after everybody else.
Yeah.
Including the other guys, it would seem. And now heading on to the final pitch straight. I don't know what kind of time this is. It's coming across the line at 40 seconds. WRL Rosberg has just managed to rejoin, and he's going to 1:23.1 on the option tyres to go provisional P3.
That's an improvement for Tuppers. I think he'll be quite happy with that time, in all honesty.
It'd be interesting to see what his race pace is like. He has been saying on the forum that actually he's quite confident of the actual race tyre wear. He says he's not been experiencing many tyre wear issues. So it might be one of those who's sacrificed his qualifying in the attempt to try and make sure he's got a decent race pace. We can only see. Now, who else is on the lap at the moment? Well, XRL Elite's on a lap, but I don't know if it's a particularly fast one. It's just coming into the Mansell and Hill hairpin. Oh, he's gone off on the grass.
I am on board with... Who to get on board with? Danny Pearce is on a lap in P4.
Let's see if I can find Danny Pearce on my feed here. We're using different feeds here, viewers, different areas. Technology is so modern, wonderful, isn't it? Here we go. Yeah, Danny Pearce in the gunmetal grey Sauber, and he's just coming up towards the end of sector 2 now. Now the question, also on the option tyres, sacrifice of qualifying really here. Much less confident on the gas than Tuppers there, if you noticed, listening to the engine sounds.
Yeah.
But he's certainly pushing on towards the Mansell Hill complex. Gently on the throttle. We've got yellow flags in this area, strangely, but I'm not seeing much in the way of damage at all. Hopefully that doesn't compromise his lap or get him a penalty. Now into the Prost tight hairpin chicane, and he's back completely off here. I think he's going into the pits. Meanwhile, Connerized, he's on a lap. He's just gone through the end of sector 1, driving for Ferrari this season. It'll be interesting to see if he can convert that into decent pace. We tried where we can to keep the cars as equal as possible, because there are some disparities. Oh, Connor's got some poor lines there. Really got junk on his tyres coming up towards the end of sector 1. And yeah, it sounds like he's backed off to me, because he's really off the pace here towards the chicane.
Yeah, that didn't sound right at all. I think that's it. There's not many cars out now. Perez is one who might be on a lap. He needs to improve in his 48.3.
That's right, he's just gone on the Jones and Brabham chicane, heading down towards turn 3. The end of the DRS zone, here at Melbourne, of course, 2 DRS zones, but only 1 detection zone. So it's critical that if you get there, you use the advantage as much as possible. Now, in the meantime, coming up to the end of sector 1, Perez's connection's all over the place. He keeps on jumping around on my screen. Not that it's like for you. Going through the end of sector 1, though, he's managed to keep it on the track, just.
Yeah.
Going on now to the slow chicane leading into the long curve. Good place for curves this in the way. You can get a really nice curves boost and put you in a good position to get close enough for DRS at the end of the lap. Let's listen on board how he takes this chicane.
Got grass on his tyres on entry and just went wide.
It was very, very erratic that. He went very, very wide and it completely compromised his second corner. He had no idea where he was going. Into the Mansell Hill complex, and it sounds like he's backed off again. I think he's realised he's just not getting a clean lap here. A 1:48 is very, very slow. But that tells me that a lot of people haven't set laps, because if a 1:48 has you in 7th,
yeah,
then what
exactly.
the hell's going on?
I think this will be an improvement on the 1:48 though.
Let's say 1:42.
No.
No, it's not. It's not even improved. Wow.
You missed the corner car, I think.
Into the Jones and Brabham chicane. He didn't feel as confident there. His car wasn't as planted when he was going on the outside, if you notice, getting towards the edge of the DRS zone. Into turn 3 on the brakes, and he had to take a second stab at the turn.
Yeah, a bit of a twitch there, wasn't there?
It's one of those where he's just turned much more sharply than he thought. That's one thing I've noticed on this game. It often seems that you have more grip at first than you think, and then you back out and then you've got no grip for the corner. So meanwhile now, coming up towards the slow chicane that leads up to the end of Sector 2 into that wonderfully fast-flowing chicane, depending on how you take it, of course. Into the weight chicane as it's known, and he's backed off there.
It was better than last time, it wasn't great.
He's just not got the confidence to get the power down early enough and keep it down, has he?
No.
He feels like the back end's going away from him.
That's right.
Same there, you can see where he's having to auto-correct halfway along, and it makes it very difficult. Coming into the cross chicanes at the end of the lap, oh, he's braked very, very early there, and he's totally slowed his lap down. Bit of rear wheel slip there, and he's missed the apex by a mile.
I know, I went near it.
He's using DRS, what's he doing?
28.
128.0, so he has improved.
By whole 20 seconds. We've got Robbo in a Ferrari. He's not set a lap yet. And he's nearing, he's in the final sector going.
Well, Danny Pearce is also back on another lap, and he's just gone through the fast chicane at the end of Sector 2, the weight chicane. And everyone seems to be going off wide there and getting grass on the tyres, and you might think it's not much of a big deal. But with the tight corners that come up, getting junk on your tyres there is pretty awful, especially if someone's getting close to be able to get you under DRS. Heading towards the end of the session now, this is the final lap, so it's do or die for most of these drivers. Most guys are going
Emu is pole.
Wow, well, he pulled that one out of the bag. Meanwhile, Danny Pearce just coming down the final pit straight now, and he's crossed the line and split. He's not improved.
Emu's improved by 2 tenths.
It's enough to get pole for now, but Connor Ice, he's on a lap, and he's
given
kind of
up.
half backed off after the
He went wide, didn't he? Perez is on a lap. I'm not really sure if this is an improvement or not. He's not used any curves so far, and he's backed off.
So I think that's it then. I think we've reached the end. Yeah, we have. So we can give you the provisional grid, which is probably going to end up as the final one. Confused Emu on a 1:22.0 goes provisional pole, backed up by Jambo on a 1:22.459, and then Mr. Ice Cold Andy Davidson on a 1:22.497. Tuppers on a 1:23.1, and then underneath him we've got Danny Pearce on a 1:23.162, Elite on a 1:23.183. But look at that, 9th place, 1:23.7, last year's champion, F1 Nige. He's going to have to scythe through the field and do it the hard way.
Yeah, that is quite shocking actually. Unless maybe a varying strategy there. Must be on the prime tyres, you would think, with a lap time like that. I think he can go faster than that.
He has been saying he's not been as confident.
Well, due to Xbox's ruining tonight, we won't be inviting anyone in for a pre-chat. Just let them know that we'll ready up when we're ready, Swish. If you can.
Okay, I'll do that for you right now. Back in a moment. Yes.
LGS says he can match Emu's time. Confident or what? Right there. Yeah. LGS is definitely very quick, and if we can get him in there fighting, then there's no reason why he shouldn't be in that division. So, yes.
Well, as I say, it was quite a bit of an interesting qualifying now, but Emu will be very happy to be starting on pole position. It's better to be one at the front with plenty in front of you. He did this last season though, and look what happened. Went away and then boom, disappeared in a cloud of smoke halfway through the race. So don't think just because the pace is there now that it's going to mean this is our final finishing positions. It can be anything but. Let's say, viewers, of course, you've all got different opinions on what you can do and how fast you can go. Motorsport Nerd, he's got in first. He said he thinks that Ice Cold Andy is going to win. Well, back in the Davidson, that's a ballsy move.
Right, well, there's 38% chance of rain, which is something that used to haunt the F1 division, and it still is this year.
Seriously? What is with rain and the F1 division? Leave us alone! It seems every single week there's a little bit of rain that's going to happen at some point. Now, the thing is, I've actually not had a race online yet,
where it's been a percentage that's possible. It's always been 100% for rain. So I've no idea if they've improved this, where if it's got any percent you guaranteed rain or not. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, so we've had one prediction for Ice Cold Andy. Come on, viewers, who else do you think is going to win? Is it all typical to call, or are you all just going to sit back and enjoy the race?
Right.
LGS 469 says that he's not a Davidson, he is an F1.
Red Snapper for the win. I'd love that to happen, I would. But he's got a Mount Everest and then some more, I think, to do that, I'm afraid.
Yeah, there's plenty going on, but as I say, I mean, the thing about Melbourne, we've already been told that there's a high chance of rain. They do say that it's the track where it's 4 seasons in a day. You're right by a lake, it's very similar to Montreal, and the weather can blow in very, very quickly. So I'm not surprised it's rain. It's just annoying that it seems to keep happening in the F1 division.
Definitely. Right, go on then. Who's your man for the win today then, Swish? Come on.
I'm going to play safe on this, and I'm going to go with Emu.
Oh,
Because I think he's going to get off I think he'll get off the line and just be able to hold things up. But I won't be surprised if Ice Cold Andy comes through, and of course, you can't write off F1 Nige. And when it comes to racecraft, he's proven before and time again he can come back from anything.
Definitely. I don't think you can count anyone out from Nige, Lewis Hamilton, Tuckers, Jambo, Emu, Andy. They're all great drivers. I'm leaning to Andy based on his fantastic qualifying pace. But this is a whole different scenario, 100% fuel on the car. Emu has done well at this track before. He was pole position last year here, so it's 2 poles in a row. And
he was dominating last year as well.
Yeah, he was until his
really
disconnection. So, yeah, I'm going to go with you as well, I think. Edge it to Emu, but Andy's going to give him a good run for his money. And Jambo's done well to put it at 2nd place. Anyway, let's get going.
Let's get everyone's talking done on the track. As I say, we're coming up here. We've got 56 laps of Melbourne Albert Park. It's one of the classic tracks, half permanent street circuit, half permanent race circuit. Low grip, very green, and the perfect place to start off what's going to be an exciting and tense season. Are we going to see a new champion, or are we going to see F1 Nige fight and clang onto the title? Stay tuned, it's going to be a corker.
Right, so we're now on the grid. I'm not going to have to get out of the way, but I think you might have to, Swish. Just be careful on that one. I think you might have Rosberg behind you. You might well have Rosberg behind you.
I do. I have someone behind me, so I'll pull off to the left.
Rosberg disconnecting yet again, though. He's been okay for about the last 6 or 7 minutes, so hopefully he'll stick around. But
right, well, as you all know, viewers, once those 5 lights go out, we're going to be racing here in Albert Park. And we are getting ready, and the go is now!
Emu's got a very average start. Jambo is all over him.
Over the back. And meanwhile, look at that, we've got the second Force India that's come through behind, and we've got the Caterham in 4th place, but Emu's managed to do the Sebastian Vettel, break the early toe. Now we've got Jambo in 2nd place, he's under big pressure, put a bit of dust on the track there, almost went completely off, but he's managed to hold it back. Moving further back through the field, there's a big cluster of cars going on from 5th place down. Ice Cold Andy holding on to 3rd place. And then in 4th, we've got Tuppers managing to maintain 4th as well. So it's pretty much good as they were. But in the meantime, the 5th place has pulled away. And Elite is holding up the field a little bit here. In the Mercedes behind him is 7th place. They've got F1 Nige, who's managed to gain a couple of places at the start. And he's being followed by the Ferrari of Connerized, who's being very heavily pressured by the McLaren being piloted by Perez. It's all very close here. A bit of a spreading in the middle of the field. But needless to say, he's managed to get the pace down now.
Pleasing start. No one crashing or anything like that. And, yeah, really good.
Perez was thinking about a move down the weight chicane there, but he backed out of it. Got a bit of junk on his tyres, though, and that might get him under threat down towards Mansell Hill. But it looks like the Caterham has been not close enough. Meanwhile, up ahead of him, Connerized is all over the back of F1 Nige's gearbox. He's been hampered too much by Elite, and Connerized has started to reel him in. Dyche getting very close to the back of Elite there during the cross chicane, but he's just managed to back out of it and avoid hitting the rear of that car. But up ahead we've got a bit of a Titanic scrap going on between 4th, 2nd and 3rd. Side by side down towards the Braverman chicane. Danny Pearce has gone on the inside of Tuppers to take 4th place. A superb overtake, and he's now got a great slipstream down towards turn 3.
There's just so much action. I'm trying to catch as much as I can, and I'd missed that, which is a shame. Sounds like an absolutely fantastic move from Danny Pearce. F1 Nige trying to get past too much Elite there, and he's going all over the place. Nige might have a look at the inside here. Most likely not. He's got a full bar of curves though to use at his disposal.
Off screen, Ice Cold Andy has managed to get past Jambo. Jambo's now running in P3, and he's being chased down very quickly by Danny Pearce. He's got the sour hooks up here, going through the slow chicane at the end of Sector 2, but he's just not got the traction to make an attack down towards the fast chicane.
Is there an issue with Nigel's curves? I would have used it there. He's actually made the move still, and it's a good move on too much, but he's still got a full bar of curves. Now he's using it to defend, so no, I was wrong, and yep, he should have 6th place wrapped up there.
Yeah, he has indeed. And to say, if you look around now behind them in the Sauber again, you've got Elite who's really under pressure now from Conor Eyes and that Ferrari. And of course, Conor Eyes is being chased by S. Perez. So all these guys are starting to really chew back in, but out front, Emu's got quite a big gap, and so has Dan, and he's being followed by Andy. These two have romped away from the pack.
Yeah,
so we've now got a big chance for these two to put the stamp of authority on the race.
It's not as if Andy's massively far away from the others, but Emu really got off. He took advantage of the tyres, and he is away. So well done to him. He's giving himself a great chance of winning his
Perez has used the curves down out of the Brabham chicane, going down to turn 3 on the outside. Can he make this corner stick? Oh, he's just not got the room, and Conor Eyes has held the high ground. Superb defensive drive into whole position.
I haven't seen anything yet. It's been good level of driving from all, and that's what we should be expecting from this F1 division. I hope I haven't jinxed it now, but it has been a good standard.
You know, the old commentator's curse has come right in there, Dan. You know you've done that. Meanwhile, XRL Elite, he's trying to get back on the back of F1 Dyche, and the problem is we've got these option tyres. They don't last very long, especially on 100% fuel tanks. So I won't be surprised if we see people diving for the pits in as early as 6 laps from here. It's going to be very, very tight.
Oh, it's kind of like the F1 today, isn't it? They just want to get them off. Get on the prime tyres. And just...
Well, Tuppers has found some pace all of a sudden. He's closing down Danny Pearce into the Mansell and Hill complex corners. And also Danny Pearce has gone very wide at Mansell, which means that he's actually gained quite a bit of traction now and started closing on the back of Jambo. Tuppers has not got the confidence through that section into the cross chicane. And Danny Pearce has really got very close behind Jambo now. And with DRS now being activated, there goes the flap. But at the head of him, Jambo's got it as well, and he's pulling away. Danny Pearce can't close him down.
Someone's in already.
Oh, Jambo's gone very, very wide at the Braverman chicane, and using the DRS, Danny Pearce goes, thank you very much. Oh, but there's been a bit of contact down towards turn 3. The wheels touch up and both guys go off. Danny Pearce goes off the track. And Jambo has cost the 3rd place there to Danny Pearce. Oh, so the Tuppers has gone up the inside. This is very chaotic, and F1 Nige is behind them as well. Tuppers is trying to avoid getting caught up in this. And immediately they all managed to hold position.
Just!
The car. How did they do that?
I know. There were a couple of bits and pieces where you thought, oh, he's going off full 4 wheels off the track to overtake. And that was Tuppers originally, but he lost the place.
He just did that chicane, and I think he's realised it, because he's not gone... He's trying to stick the outside move down towards the fast chicane. This is what Hamilton did on Rosberg famously in 2010.
Tubbs is running
just not got the pace. Tubbs has gone wide actually. F1 Nige sweeps on through. Thank you very much. And he's also been followed by 2 other cars.
Tubbs has dropped to 8.
Gone through. And so's Lewis Hamilton.
And here comes a Mercedes on Tuppers, and the Mercedes has got
damage to his car.
No, he took too much of the inside of the second part of the corner, and it completely stopped him. And he's just dropped down.
So he's down to 9th place now. It's got a Ferrari. It's taken a lunge up the inside at Prost. They've touched Whiteley. Robbo's done a little bit of a contact, but he's got away with it. And he's gone for the switchback on this straight, pitch straight. There goes the DRS flap. But Tuppers has got it as well. And look at his gearbox.
Yeah, he had a little bit of curves left over. Yeah, it's DRS as well.
Robbo's tried to counter it by going into the Braverman chicane. And it cut very, very close. Nose to tail between these two there. Got the flaps again. But with Tuppers having the DRS flap open, the advantage is being negated, but Robbo's not giving up. Into turn 3, he's gone a bit too wide. Contact from Tuppers there, but he's managed to hold the position without puncturing his car. Wonderful.
Perez having a go. Ooh,
WRL Rosberg suddenly got through a bit of a lag.
That's WRL Rosberg, yeah, I wasn't sure who that was for a second, but yes.
But Tuppers is now out of the points, he's down to, he's down to 12th position.
But do not know what happened there, he's just going backwards. So we have in 13th, who is that in 13th?
I've got LGS on me telling me that apparently it's not called, the corner's not called Prost, it's actually called the grandstand. Well, rather than call it turn 14, I'm calling it Prost, because it's a much better name. Thank you very much.
So Too Much Elite was the driver who pitted early on. We've got Perez in 13th, who has a bit of end plate damage, and has just subsequently gone
Lewis
wide.
Hamilton's just slammed right into the back of Conrad, literally punted him off the track at Prost, and he's not yielded the position back. If he doesn't give that position back, it is going to be a penalty. In fact, he's dropped Conrad completely, and that's not a good piece of driving from Hamilton there at all.
Roll it down, roll it down.
Well, F1 Nige got brilliant toe here on the back of Danny Pierce. There goes the DRS flap, but he's still not closing the gap despite the DRS. Down towards turn 3, and Danny Pierce holds the high ground. He's got the champion of the last season behind him, and he's not intimidated. F1 Nige's almost punting a diffuser there. He's got that close. Coming up towards the end of sector 1, there's no way through the chicane. Well, I'll say that now, he's going to have a go, but he's backed out of it, realised there was too much of a tightened line there, and he may decide to have a go down towards turn 7 and 8.
Yeah, these tyres must be getting pretty second hand now. It won't be that many laps until you see these guys coming in and change for a new set.
I agree completely. Now, sticking with F1 Nige, he's still in P5 at the moment, closing down Danny Pierce towards the fast chicane at the end of sector 2. And is he going to have a go here? No, he's just realising it's a bit too far back and he can't do that. But now coming down towards the Mansell corner, and he might be able to do him under braking here. Famously, of course, Lucas Di Grassi did that on Michael Schumacher in 2010. Made the race, not for me. When he was driving for Virgin. Now, in the meantime, coming down towards Hill, and then towards the final hairpin, well, the final grandstand, Prost. I'll please LGS by calling it correctly. And F1 Nige is close enough to be getting the DRS, but I don't think it's close enough to elect to move. But Danny Pierce has dived into the pits.
Ooh, Nige just losing it on entry to that final corner. He's only just about a second and a half, maybe, in front of quite a big little scrap going on. But
yeah, you've got XRL Lightning in 7th, and then ahead of him you've got Connerized in 5th. And then also you've got the Caterham of Lewis Hamilton, I think, who's actually hounding and pressuring in on the back of F1 Nige. And even with DRS, without DRS, he was closing on Nige. You had it. What gearbox has Nige got on that car? Because it doesn't seem to be working.
that's not something you'd expect to be saying from the Mercedes team. They've always been in the hands of their gearboxes, and now, on this year's game, they're not so much.
But behind Lewis Hamilton, you've got Connerized having a little ding-dong scrap here, who's being chased down by XRL Lightning and the sister Mercedes. These 4 cars are all separated by literally about 2 seconds. It's really, really tight here, and it's only going to take one mistake from one of these guys to find them going off. But these tyres look very second-hand. If I was these guys, I'd be in the pits now looking to do 2, maybe even 3 more stops on the primes.
Lightning's in a good position, though. He's on the prime tyres.
Connerized had a bad mistake at the end of the fast chicane in sector 2, and that's a fantastic overtake there by the Mercedes. A wonderful piece of driving. And Connerized finds himself down to 7th place now.
He's run wide, though. Lightning's getting all sorts of dirt and grass in his tyres, though.
It's one of those tracks, there's so much dust and grime on the edge. And all the guys have stayed out, but the way Connerized gears sounded really, really bad. Very poor traction.
DRS lap for Connor.
Indeed, and he's having a look down towards the Brabham and Jones chicane. Oh, he can't go around there, surely not.
That's a good defensive move from Lightning there. He just said, look, you have to go around the long way, and he couldn't.
Well, in the meantime, what's turn through? We've got a bit of action going on here, as Hamilton was trying to have a go on the back of F1 Nige, just couldn't get close enough though at the end of that DRS zone. And we've got a cluster of cars now all of a sudden, going down from 6th place. They're all going by maybe 6 seconds.
I think it's sort of like 6 to 12 or something like that. There isn't a massive gap. Connor's the closest.
Yeah, Connor is getting very, very close.
Robbo's starting to close in. He's on the prime tyres. WRL Rosberg's in 9th. 10th is Red Snapper. He's in the points. That's good. He's on the prime tyres as well. He does say his race pace is good. 29.1 at this stage of the race is a solid lap time.
Well, it's faster than Connor Eyes. He's on 29.5 on the option tyres. So that tells you something about the pace right there. Oh, meanwhile, XRL Lightning's gone completely off at the fast chicane. Dust all over his tyres, but his Lanza carries so much extra speed that he's got away with it. While Connor Eyes has really struggled to close the gap, and he's actually being chased down very, very quickly indeed by Robbo, his teammate in the other Ferrari. And I get the feeling that Compton's going to dive into the pits now, surely. Those tyres look absolutely dreadful. Look at his line there, he was nowhere near the apex.
So that lets Robbo go through pretty much without being held up. And his quick snap 6/10 off what Red Snap's doing. Red Snap's lapping quick. Obviously not as quick as some of the guys at the front. Emu's done a 28.3 on the options, and he a 28.6 on the prime, so he's the quickest person lapping on the prime tyres. But, you know, Red Snap's done 29.1 on prime tyres. That's one of the quickest out there. I think it is the quickest bar Andy on the prime tyres. That is seriously good lap.
Indeed, Emu's only done a 28.3 on the option tyre, compared to Andy on the prime, who's done a 28.6. That shows you that these tyres must be wearing quite badly now, but Emu's got quite a bit lead. He's just come out at the end of the fast chicane now.
Wide there.
A little bit, though. Well, meanwhile, Ice Cold Andy's only just going through. That's a gap of about what's
they're all going wide there. They like the grass.
Well, we'll be keeping an eye on this, because if people are gaining an advantage from that, we will be coming down like the hammer of God.
See, Jambo just about does it. But he's lost a position to Merck there.
Yeah,
F19.
Just gone through to third place.
And then Lewis Hamilton's in this little cluster as well. But I would expect Jambo to be peeling off into the pits pretty much now. He's losing positions.
Nigel laced away on that one. Indeed he has. Nigel's cut very late into the pit lane there. He's not causing the incidents, but still, that could have been quite dangerous.
So they're both in. Nige and Jambo. Have we got anyone else coming in? No. So WRL Rosberg now goes up into 6th place. Now 5th. Because Emu has pitted, I think. Yep, Emu's out of pits.
And we've also got Hamilton, who's now in 2nd place as well. And Lightning is now up to P3, so he's done very, very well there out of all this. He's profited very quickly. And Robbo is now in P4, who was lucky to not get held up by Connor. WRL Rosberg, meanwhile, is still on the option tyre. He's going for a very long stint on these ones, it seems. And he's running now in P5. A 29.1 is his fastest tyre, so not slow. But those tyres are surely going to be going off by now.
You would think so, wouldn't you? Robbo, I put him in my pre-season sort of vlogs saying that I think he'll do quite well this year. He's in P4. He's done 29.4 on the... He seems to have decent race pace, and yeah, he is setting a good lap, so...
Well, in the meantime, XRL Rosnapper now, he's in 7th place, and he's about a second off the pace of a confused Emu. I don't think he's going to find it easy to close the gap on him somehow, considering he's got fresher tyres. But it's quite impressive to say he's running there. Meanwhile, big mistake. One of the McLarens just lagged out big time, and Emu had to stop at the fast chicane, thinking he might rear-end him. As a result, XRL Red Snapper's having a go in towards the Mansell corner, and he is through. XRL Red Snapper takes Emu. Unbelievable.
Emu. Ooh, what's happening to Emu?
And Emu's now going off the track.
He's got no wing. Down. He's got no wing. He's got no wing.
He's got a wing on my screen.
Right, he's peeling into the pits.
Oh, well, that's how bloody... No, why didn't he show that on my screen, damn it?
And I'm thinking that's to do with WRL Rosberg.
Meanwhile, this has really helped out in front, because X-Robo's now in 3rd place, chasing down the Mercedes of XRL Lightning, and in 2nd place we've got Hamilton, who's doing very, very solid for the Caterham guys. But in 1st place now, got quite a considerable lead, is Mr. Ice Cold Andy.
Yeah.
And with Emu now diving into the pits for a wing change, well, I think we're going to have to revise our choice for who's going to win the race, because it's very, very unlikely he's going to survive that.
No, he needs a safety car or something, that's for sure, doesn't he? Perez is down in 14th. He is an absolute mile down on everyone. He's actually a lap down on some people already. So I do not know what's happened to him. But, yeah, Emu now...
I wonder if he was the lagging car that I saw on the screen following Emu.
I thought it was WRL Rosberg. Because he was the one fighting for that sort of position.
But there was a McLaren that I saw ghosting around, so I saw Emu stop like he thought he might rear-end him. And that's why I didn't see any damage, like as though it wasn't getting else. So we really don't know how much the storms are affecting connections here, actually. We've no idea.
Yeah, not out. Oh.
And Perez is retired. Well, can't say a surprise. But meanwhile, look at Too Much Elite. He's in 11th place now. Battling with Connor Eyes at the end of the points. He's really fallen down the order.
Ooh. That's a weird way to take that corner.
But F1 Nigel's got the DRS open as he tries to chase down one of the Salvers. I think it's one of the Salvers ahead of me. I think it's Danny Pearce. It is indeed. Yeah, Danny Pearce is leading on F1 Nige into the DRS zone at the end of the Jones chicane and in towards turn 3. And he's gone a bit wide, Danny Pearce there. So F1 Nige just closed right out to the back of him. Not close enough to affect a move now, but he'll be following for the rest of the lap, ready to pounce coming up towards the end of sector 1. And he's very, very close as F1 Nige. Much faster at the moment than Danny Pearce. He's more happy with his tyres. Danny Pearce going off at the inside there. Very, very nearly went all 4 tyres off, but got away with it. Into the slow chicane, and Nige knows there's not really much of a way round here, but if the set ahead of him, if Danny Pearce keeps getting that much jump on his tyres, he's going to really affect the understeer through those corners, and that's when he's going to pounce. Let's just ride on board and listen to the engines through the fast chicane. Absolutely flat from Nige, and he's gone right for it. Danny Pearce has completely messed that up, and he is through. Easy as you like. Question is, can Danny Pearce get close enough to make a move back? Looks like he's actually falling away, so I think this is going to carry on. And I'm not getting mixed up with Brabham and Jones, LGS. It's 2 corners together, but it's too hard to say both at the same time. So I'll alternate. One for New Zealand and one for Australia. Yeah, well, someone's in the pits, actually, and currently in P6. I don't know who that is.
Red Snapper, maybe.
It's WRO Rosberg.
Oh, right.
He's coming out in 11th place. And he is in a McLaren, so that explains your point about how you thought it was him being punted by Emu. Now it makes a lot more sense. Well, the field starts to spread out a bit now, actually, surprisingly. It's starting to get into that position where there's a few seconds between the drivers. So we have a bit of a chance to do a bit of a recap for you. So I'll give you a rundown of the fastest laps. First place, we've got Mr. Ice Cold Andy on a 1:28.6, blistering pace on those prime tyres. Lewis Hamilton's in second place on a 1:29.0. In third place, we've got XRL Lightning on a 1:29.3. And then fourth place, Robbo, 1:29.4. Red Snapper in fifth on a 1:29.1, which is very good pace considering the tyres is on. F1 Nige at 28 flat. That's really quick and nice indeed.
Fresh tyres.
Danny Pearce, 1:28.8. He's doing quite decent. And he's also by only 0.02 of a second slower than Jambo, who's starting to close him down. That could get quite a dicey battle later on in the race. Connor Eyes, the 9th on the 28.9. And right down the top 10, we've got Too Much Too Elite, and he's on a 1:29.2.
So he's actually climbed into the top 10 now, Elite. So he's slowly but surely finding his way after a very early pit stop.
Well, we saw this at the last race last season when CD195 was down in like 12th position. Hung around, wasn't really lighting up the timing boards, and ended up 5th place. So it just goes to show sometimes you just got to stick there and play it like a metronome and just hit your mark every time and not think about anybody else, and you might get the rewards at the end. Meanwhile, we've got some random people on the stream asking us to search stupid things on Google. No, don't do that. Meanwhile, fourth place, we've got Robbo, who's getting very, very close to the back of F1 Nige all of a sudden. And Nige just started getting a bit erratic. He started going off the track all of a sudden. So don't be surprised if, in fact, Robbo's thinking about pouncing during the fast chicane, side by side, and F1 Nige touched him into the wall.
Oh, I was busy watching Lightning's battle with Robbo. These two are very, very close out on track for the final podium place.
Oh, it is it's Robbo who's close down Lightning, sorry. I thought it was
oh, right.
He literally smacks him into the wall, though, Lightning. Lightning hit Robbo into the wall before the fast chicane. Indeed, he might give Robbo a wing change. I'm riding on board with him.
His wing looks fine. He is in for a stop.
I had fine win with Emu, and guess what happened there?
No, just tyres.
That's very early to be changing onto the option tyres. That's very, very early.
14 laps, they can usually go 17 a set of prime tyres, so that is very early. He's putting quite a few laps before he should be.
We've got Jambo currently in 6th place, and he's chasing down what looks like to be Danny Pierce in 5th place in the Sauber. He's a bit not far enough, not close enough to DRS though, so Jambo's got to nail these lap times and start just slowly chipping away at the lead. So
well, if I can't, I will try and send a message, but if the Xbox is still broken, I can't do anything. Yeah, we'll do.
Danny Pierce kicks up the dust there, goes a bit wide on both the entry and the exit. And Jambo will look
right,
at that.
Well, I've had a message. I've just been on the phone to Red Snapper and I've been told to pull out WRL Rosberg.
Dump him out?
He's ghosting.
Okay.
See if I can actually send a message over Xbox.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Oh, I think Xbox is fixed now. It's fixed.
Well, viewers, they've got a long way to go in this race, considering it's already 9 o'clock. It's 16 laps done, they've got 58. Oh, good lord.
Australia must be quite a long race on the calendar, because it's a decently long lap. 58 obviously. That's quite a lot. Yes, Emu is being...
Put it this way, at least it's not Singapore.
Emu's been very unfortunate tonight. It's the only one that's been affected from Rosberg.
Disaster.
And it really has caused him problems. He's now up into the points in 10th place on a 27.8, which is the quickest lap so far by a few tenths, 3 tenths I think. So, you know, he would have been able to fight for it.
Well, closest battle on track at the moment is between Jambo and Danny Pierce. 6th place and 5th place. Those guys are about 1.5 seconds apart. And I think they're both lapping incredibly quickly within each of his time frames. They're very, very close. So as a result, Danny Pierce is slowly pulling away in sector 2, but then Jambo's pulling it back in sectors 1 and 3. So we're getting that seesaw effect where the guys are really pushing each other on.
Oh, Danny nearly lost control there.
I was just saying, one of them's going to start making mistakes because it can only go so
far. Oh, but Jambo's put it in the gravel.
Yeah, these guys are right on the ragged edge, trying to do all they can to put on keep the positions and pull away / close the gap, depending on who you are. And at the moment, Jambo has been a little more consistent, but he's still been getting the junk on the tyres, which has been slowing him down. Into the Jones-Brabham chicane. And yeah, you can see Jambo went a bit too wide there, actually puts out one of the brake marker boards. I don't think the stewards will be too pleased about that. And then onwards down towards turn 3, and he's actually dropped back here. Oh, he's gone a bit hot there. He almost went off the track, but he just got lucky enough to hold it in place and not go off and get into the gravel.
Right, there's another couple of close battles, a bit further down the order at the moment. Robbo and P7. WRL Rosberg still hasn't listened to the message, hasn't been in the pit. Lightning was in 9th, followed by EU, who must be closing on him now.
Well, Emu is going to be sat in the pace field light, I think. You're just going to see Emu go all out attack.
If he gets a top 5, that'll be a top performance for him.
The thing is that Emu's always had pace. He's many tracks. Last season here, don't forget, he was really dominating. He was about 30 seconds in the lead before his mother decided to unplug the internet connection.
I can remember that now.
Needless to say, I don't think that was literally his version of an alternator failure. It really was. Very, very unfortunate. So in the meantime, as I say, he's got pace. We've got someone in the pits ahead of Jambo and Danny Pierce, but I don't know who it is. Can't find out.
The thing about
it's Hamilton. Hamilton's in the pits.
He's topped out just behind, in between Emu and Lightning's little battle.
And Emu's all over his back like a rash. Look at this. Emu's all over him, and Hamilton's gone defensive to the inside. Emu's trying to think about the outside, but Hamilton planks the car in the middle. You're allowed to go back to the racing line under FIA rules, so there was nothing dirty about that. But Emu will be furious that he's come out behind Hamilton. Hamilton's also on the option tyres, and is known for having quite good pace, so he's not going to be an easy person to pass. Emu, he's gone all four wheels off at the end of sector one.
He's getting a bit angry, I
think. He's driving angry. The rev mist has descended, and he's just going all out attack. You can see it in the way he's driving. He's pushing to the absolute limit, but at the same time, he's going to be tearing those tyres to pieces, and that's the last thing that you want to do. Meanwhile, behind Emu, we've got a bit of a duel going on here between Red Snapper in 11th place and Tuppers in 12th. Tuppers in 12th place. I didn't think I'd ever be saying that on the stream. That's unbelievable.
He looked quick at the start. He just seems to be a little bit inconsistent.
His pace is decent. He's done a 28.5 on the prime tyre. That's not slow by any stretch of the imagination.
There's not big gaps between everyone though, is there? No, there's not massive gaps. Like half of them, all of them on the straight. All of them were just on the straight bar first place. That is what, 10-15 seconds between that sort of seconds to 12th? It's only 1st and 13th that there are big gaps. So the pace is quite even. And
meanwhile, moving further up the field, we do have a bit of a close battle going on. I believe it's between I think it's 5th place to 4th. In fact, no, it's 6th. But look at this. Robbo is all over the back of his teammate, all over the back of Connor, coming up towards the slow chicane. He's down at the inside. He's got on the brakes, and he's managed to effect the pass. Superb driving, but Connor is going to have a nice drag now, down towards the end of Sector 2. Conori's tyres looking very, very old-fashioned, actually. He's not having much fun here today by the looks of things, and Robbo has absolutely dropped him. But Robbo's made a mistake, gone off at the end of Sector 2 with the chicane, as he knows spun round, and Conori's has started to close the gap. Now, if Conori's is careful, he can get into the DRS zone here, but both drivers have pushed it a bit too wide at Mansell, and that there has put the dirt on the tyres and rubbing in the grip. But up ahead of them, we've got also a titanic scrap going on between 4th and 2nd. Mr. Ice Cold Andy, who's obviously been in the pits, is now being held up by his teammate Jambo. DRS flap open on both cars, but Andy has got the pace, and Jambo's just had to yield and let him through into 3rd place. Oh, there's been contact, and I believe one of the end plates has just gone off on one of the other cars. So, Jambo's got the DRS over down towards turn 3, and he's just a little too far away from the back of his teammate Andy.
They're all closing in on Danny Pearce now.
Exactly, yeah, and if these guys get caught up in a big trap of cars here, then what's going to happen is that our leader is going to be able to try and get a useful gap. The leader being none other than F1 Nige.
How is he there?
We did say you don't want to count him out from coming back from anywhere.
Has he pitted yet, though?
I don't think so, no. Meanwhile, side by side, Danny Pearce and Andy. Andy's going around the outside. And
what a move. What a move right there.
Absolutely stunning overtake. Danny Pearce is not giving up, but that will have...
Jambo's now eyeing up a move.
Yeah, Jambo's got a better exit out of the second chicane, down towards Mansell. Is he going to... Oh, he's just literally punted. Jambo's literally punted Danny Pearce there. And now, what's going on? Jambo's hit the wall, and one of the other Mercedes, I think...
Ferrari.
What the hell just happened? Seriously. Well, Jambo has just tossed away a podium by driving like a complete idiot.
Thing is, he's caused problems for not just himself, but 2 or 3 others. Right
Jambo,
there, Connor.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Connor's okay, so it's Robbo who got caught up in that, who's
Robbo,
now in the pits.
Furious. His pace was really strong. But the big gainer out of this is XRL Red Snapper, who's now looking up the inside of WR Rosberg at turn 3 to steal 5th place, but has just had to yield it back. In fact, we've got 4 cars from 5th place down to 8th. all right next to each other. Danny Pearce has got confused Emu to his right down at the end of chicane sector 1, and Emu can't go through there, surely not, but he's getting very aggressive. Right on the back on the diffuser of Danny Pearce.
Danny Pearce is the one who got caught up in that incident. He lost a good 10 seconds out of it, but he's at least still
Danny
on the
Pearce
track.
has gone all 4 wheels off of the slow chicane there, and that's gaining him an advantage over Emu, but not much of one. Emu's reeling him in like a fish in a lake here, pulling him in very, very quickly. Down towards the chicane at the end of sector 2, and Emu's a bit more confident on the throttle, and he's got a much better run. He's pulled out to the right side. Oh, and he's been tank slapped a little bit there by Danny Pearce, but Emu's held it up going into Mansell, and once again, Danny Pearce has slammed into the front of confused Emu. That's twice now he's done that. He's got to be careful. If he keeps doing that, he is going to get a penalty for causing collisions. So Danny Pearce, it seems, has got the red mist down, and he doesn't care who he's racing with.
Emu should have him here though, but having said that, Danny Pearce has got a lot of curves saved.
There goes the DRS flat from Emu, but he's not catching up to Danny Pearce. Look at that, 3 seconds lost on that lap by Emu. Emu's race has been absolutely ruined into the Brabham and into the Jones chicane, and Emu got a poor entry there, which has compromised his exit. There goes the flat though. Can he close down towards turn 3? No, he can't. He's just not got the legs on the car, and Emu's now going off the track.
Grass under
Emu's
braking.
guilty of overdriving. Emu's driving a lot like Juan Pablo Montoya used to. He's got phenomenal pace, but occasionally you wonder how the hell he got the drive.
So you've got 2 cars in the pits at the moment. That's Robbo and Jambo. Now,
Well, interestingly, Red Snapper's managed to keep up the pace on WRL Rosberg, would you believe? Going down towards the end of sector 2, there's maybe half a second between these guys. And Red Snapper's found pace in this Red Bull. He's liking this car, and he's knuckled down, got through the tough laps, and he's got a much better run through the chicane. But WRL Rosberg goes a bit out wide and uses the runoff to get him a much more power. Here comes Red Dog coming down towards Mansell, and once again Rosberg just suddenly goes like 3mm ahead of him. This must be horrible for Red Snapper. When you're following a car and all you're seeing is it jumping around, you've no idea where it is.
Horrible.
Do you go for the overtake on the inside? Do you try and deploy your curves? Do you use your DRS? What do you do? How do you know? You just got to go for it and see what happens.
DRS here, sure. I know, on Emu. This looks a bit better from Emu, a little bit more promising.
He's got a lot closer, but I don't think it's going to close.
He's going
for it. In towards the Jones and Brabham chicane, and he's managed to go through. No, Danny Pearce has held it on the inside.
He'll get second by the Cherry though.
He will indeed, and he's got the better line into turn 3. But Danny Pearce has turned in. There's a bit of contact there. But Emu's still not got through, and he's now being chased down very quickly from behind by Tuppers in the Caterham. He's managed to get himself back into the points, and as Emu goes off, Tuppers is looking at his former teammate from GP2 and thinking, I'm going to have you, sunshine. And meanwhile, Danny Pearce is causing more problems.
I know. This is good stuff. Emu will be getting very, very frustrated now.
We're being asked why aren't we joining Rosberg's party to Forza retirement. If it would guarantee that we'd be able to come back to the party to carry on the stream, we would. But with the network problems at the moment, we're not taking any risks. Emu's got a much better run out of the chicane at the end of sector 2. Danny Pearce goes defensive to the inside. Emu going on the outside at Mansell. Just enough room left by Danny Pearce there, who forces him to go onto the dirty side of the track. And Emu is just going to get held up lap after lap by Danny Pearce, who's putting everything at it, hammer and tongs, to keep that position going. We do have a little light spots of rain. How quickly that's going to affect the traction, no one knows. But meanwhile, Emu's gone very wide. There goes the DRS flag.
Here he goes.
Chance. And he is through. Surely he's through now. Danny Pearce goes off 4 wheels off at the inside, and now Tuppers has got a superb run at the inside as well. There goes the DRS flap. Tuppers commits to the outside of turn 3. It's a risky approach because you're turning across the other driver. You've got to put a lot of trust in them. But Tuppers has made it.
Great move.
Time out. So Button and Hamilton taking Schumacher at Monza.
All that time, Emu stuck behind him. Tuppers just in one corner.
As I say, Button and Hamilton versus Schumacher at Monza. Exactly the same situation. a bit of a breather now, so they can go down the fastest laps a bit. See if the fastest laps have changed much. F19 still out of the lead on a 28.0. Don't know if he's been in the pits
I think
yet,
he's trying to extend his stint because of the rain.
Yes, it's probably what I'd do in this position as well. 26.3 from Mr. I called Andy in second place, phenomenal pace. 26.9 from Hamilton, he's been very solid. And XRL Lightning, 127.3, just goes to show you don't have to have the fastest laps to be there. Meanwhile, F19 has been passed by Mr. I called Andy, so he must have now gone into the pits. Now, meanwhile, Brad Snapper's in fifth place on 26.8. He's got good pace in that car.
He has, hasn't he?
WR Rosberg, he might be splitting opinion, but he's currently got the fastest lap. At 20, no, he's got 28.3, sorry, I thought it was 26. And then 27.8 for Emu in 7th place, who was badly held up by Danny Pearce. And Tupper's at 28.5 and Danny Pearce at 28.8. Connor Rice rounds off the top 10 on a 27.9.
The pace is good for all, though. It's not just one or two people. There are quite a few who are doing good.
We've got a potentially juicy Julia. F19 just only come out about 3 seconds behind Mr. Ice Cold Andy. This could be game on, because F1 Nigel now be feeling settled in the car. He's gone for a second set of primes, bizarrely, with the rain falling. You'd have thought he'd have gone onto the option tyres and then quickly go through. But Nigel's obviously seen things differently.
He's obviously the champion of last season, but this season it's sort of gone under the radar a little bit. He hasn't had the game for a long time, and all the focus has been on Ice Cold Andy. Emu's looked strong as well, and he sort of slipped under the radar a bit, and yeah, he's doing a great job.
Sometimes you don't have to be the most sparkling X-Factor driver to be fast, and F1 Nigel's proven that today. Hamilton's exactly the same, and so's that XRL Lightning in 3rd and 4th.
Lewis Hamilton seems to have a thing for this track. He has got good form here.
Red Snapper has finally got through past WR Rosberg at the Prost chicane, but Rosberg saved all his curves and has got DRS. So Rosberg gets on board, goes for the toe, pulls out of the slipstream, and that's thank you very much, Candy from a baby, into the Jones and Bromley chicane. But oh, he's gone off. WR Rosberg's gone too far wide, and as a result, Red Snapper goes, well, thank you very much as well.
Possibly a little bit of a greasy track, or just braking late. Either one.
Actually, yeah, I'm right on board with Rosberg, and it's hard to follow his speed. It's difficult to know exactly where he is. Meantime, confused Emu, he's catching up to the back of Rosberg. Emu and the lagging car. That's going to end badly. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, Emu's not looking forward to that, I bet you.
I bet he isn't as well. If you were watching the stream, by the way, are you getting lag on the stream? Because if you are, let me know, because I seem to be getting a few glimpses.
Rosberg is just jumping a little bit, and Emu is not going to be pleased having to race right next to him.
No, it's a driver's worst nightmare. Not knowing where your opponent is, not knowing when you can get on the power, not knowing when you can use the things. Pulling up there, that's the outside. Oh, and John Rosberg shot right across him, leaning down towards Monsell. But he's no, Emu's going for it. Got the inside line, bit of contact, very minor, and Rosberg just holds the line, but Emu's pushing him really far, and that's contact. But Emu's managed to hold it, and going into the Prost chicane, he's taken the wide line. He's been punted a little bit, and Rosberg has actually got back through as a result. So, Motorsport Nerds asking if we want him to do the invites.
The invites for what?
To get Rosberg out of the race.
Try.
Because of his line.
Yeah, try.
I thought you said why, not try. Right, in the meantime, Emu is backed off from Rosberg.
Try it. If Motorsport Nerd wants to do it. Or you switch, because I don't want to have to go through all the menus on the stream.
I'm not risking losing my connection to the commentary feed. Don't be daft.
Good point.
Right. And we've got some guy called Gobsmack345 asking us to look at stupid things on Google. No.
Well, it looks like both the Red Bulls have cleared WRL Rosberg now.
I can't add Motorsport Nerd, he's not on my list. I thought he was.
I'll do it on my phone. Hope the Xbox has fixed itself. But at least Emu's got rid of him now.
Rosberg's going, no he's not, Rosberg's gone back through!
He got through on Red Snap, so Red Snap's dropped to 7th.
Oh, Connor Eyes has slammed into the back of Red Snapper and punching him off at turn 3, but Connor Eyes quite fairly waiting. He's deliberately let him back through, so good driving there for Connor Eyes. Oh, I think the guys are struggling with tyres though, because Red Snapper's then spun immediately off. I think the water on the track is getting too much for him to handle now. But Tuppers is finding pace all of a sudden. Ever since this has happened, he's liking what he's seeing here. The sticky turn, yes you see Ray, we saw it 5 laps ago. Oh, 4 wheels off from Rosberg there. Going around the chicane. Alright Dan, I'm going to try and see if I can join the party for WRL.
Okay, I think Xbox has fixed itself now.
Yeah, I think it's all good news now.
I can't join his party, his party's private.
Game chat?
No, because you can't
They
listen.
won't hear us.
Okay. Okay guys, sorry, I'll leave you now.
Thank you. I'm riding on board with WRL Rosberg, and oh, this is awful. This is really awful.
I wouldn't say it's ghosting, I'd just say it's like every now and again it's just jumping a little bit further forward.
Yeah. Well, we've got a bit of a scrap going on here between 7th and 8th. Connor Eyes is all over the back of Tuppers, and Tuppers has gone off. It's obviously he's got too little grip on these tyres, and Connor Eyes sweeps through right before the chicane at the end of Sector 1. Superb, opportunist driving.
Right, well, where to get on board? We've got 3 cars for 7th, 8th and 9th. Get on board there with Connor, Tuppers, and one more who might be too much. Oh, too much is 9th. We're going to keep on. I'm going to leave it on these 3 while I quickly just get a drink. But I'll be right back. So, well, there isn't actually that many battles. They are quite open at the moment. So, I'll leave it on too much as he's got the closest gap to anyone. But expect pit stops as we do have a couple of cars in right now for a stop. And I think you'll see most of them come in now.
Yeah, the rain's getting a bit too much for these guys to handle. Too much elite is lagging quite badly as well.
Oh, I was going to say, it's the K-room just in front.
Oh, well, one of them did. Now, the Tuppers has gone in and elite has followed him. But one driver has decided to be brave and stay out. Now, that's very interesting. And that driver, I'm trying to find out who it is. It is none other than Connor Eyes. Connor Eyes is staying with it. He's not giving up. And he's closed right to the back of one of the Mercedes now. He's got a lot of power going down towards turn 3. He's still got the grip on these prime tyres. I don't know how he's finding the grip at the moment, because everyone else is on the intermediates and they're finding the pace. So I know you're not following this on the stream, viewers, but I've got a view of a race here with Connor Eyes, who's closed up very, very quickly on the Mercedes of XRL Lightning. Now, Lightning is on the intermediate tyres, whereas Connor Eyes is still out on the primes, and the gap is not changing. The gap is staying the same at the moment. So these guys are really pushing each other on, but Connor Eyes is going to run out of grip soon. He has to. These tyres are not going to get better in these conditions. They're going to get worse. But he's still got the confidence to keep the power completely planted through that second chicane, and is really pushing on to get behind XRL Lightning at the moment. Into Mansell now, and Lightning's gone a little wide, but at the same time Connor Eyes has got a nice little run down towards the Prost, I'll call it grandstand, down towards the Post grandstand, and indeed, WR Rosberg miles up ahead of them, I think, and he's causing real problems, almost got completely in the way.
Oh, Connor, no.
He's stayed out well not too long, hasn't he?
Yeah. That was it. You can just see on that last corner he was struggling to feed the power through, and I think you've done a lap too many.
Well, strangely, Danny Pearce has also stayed out on the prime tyres. He's running in 7th place. I'm riding above him. He's not got anyone near him anymore, apart from W.O. Rosberg, who's about to leave the pits. And he's taking it gentle, but he's not driving very slowly at all. He's now in P6, and he's lapping quite consistently well here. Into the turn 3, how's his grip here? He's been a little slower on the front, but you can see that when he's lining up the rears.
No,
Wetter here, by looks of it.
We've got Emu starting to close that gap. He's within about 2.5 seconds.
Well, this is the acid test. Let's ride on board of Emu. He's on the intermediates, and we've got Danny Pearce on the primes. This will be a classic tale as to whether we're right and the guy should have pitted a lap ago. Because Emu's got the intermediate tyres on. He's going to be loving the cool conditions and the water and the grip he's going to be getting from those tyres. And into the slow chicane, and you can tell that gap is visibly shrinking, but it's not coming down hand over fist like you'd expect.
No, it's not. It's not massive. It's visible, as you say, but it's only literally maybe a few tenths, half a second. It's not the seconds that you may expect when it's this wet. So.
Well, there's potential reprimands that need to be issued here because apparently Jambo, Rosberg, Robbo and Danny Pearce are all in a private chat, which is against the rules. So Danny Pearce has gone very, very wide at that final corner at Prost.
He's in.
And he's decided enough is enough, I'm going in, but he'll have lost so much time as a result of that. Ahead of him, Conor is also in the pits by the looks of it. And Emu sweeps through to 5th position. A very good recovery drive this from Emu, considering all the crap he's had to endure. And there goes another brake mark aboard as the guys push the limits of the track as much as possible.
Danny Pearce exits his pit box and will be in 10th place. Got a little group of cars, 7th, 8th and 9th. That is, I believe that's Connor. Too much in Scotland, is it?
We've got too much in 7th place.
Yeah, too much has just made a good move
Connor,
on
and then
Connor.
in 9th we've got Toppers. So these three guys are all running very close together. They're all on the intermediate tyres, and there's lots of water on the track, so it's going to get quite dicey. No DRS now, of course, because under the wet conditions, DRS is disabled. So we've got no DRS. It's all about curves, it's all about your car control, and it's all about your setup. So it'll be interesting to see who's gone for whether anyone's setups are interchangeable here. And if those guys who were a little slower in qualifying might well have been hampered there and have the better setup. Conor is getting very out of shape in that slow chicane, then almost went sideways. Tupper's more confident going through that fast chicane than the guys ahead of him, but Conrad's got a much better exit somehow. I don't really know how that was possible. And he's snaking a lot on the straight, it seems. Not quite sure what his strategy is there. Maybe he's trying to get heated to the tyres. But either way, I don't know how he's getting away with it.
I'm not going to do anything about these whole private party things in this race based on the fact of I don't think anyone was in a party to begin with. I think Nige did have one later on, but because of the connections in the game, he couldn't make parties at the time.
Well, meanwhile, Danny Pearce is getting, XRL 2 Elite is getting out of shape down towards what will be the DRS zone, and Conor Eyes has started really closing him in. They've dropped uppers by about 1.5 seconds somehow.
Yeah.
And again, Elite goes too far wide. Are we looking at wet conditions here, I wonder?
Yeah, I think
because
so.
It's
getting close, isn't it?
They can't either get understeer into the corner and oversteer out of it. But Connor's still finding the pace and is pushing very, very quickly to Elite. So this is going to make Elite start to get a bit more ragged and into the slow chicane. Elite holds station there for now, but Conor Eyes is really smelling blood in the water here and is proper coming after him very quickly. Into the fast chicane, let's ride on board and listen. Yeah, much flatter there from Conor, but you see how wide that so Elite got that then, and he seemed to gain time. I'm certain you gain time by going off there. You must do. Conor is just not quite closing the gap at the moment. He's unable to get the final positions here. We're coming in towards the final third part of the race. We've got another 25 laps to go. There goes the curse from Conor Eyes. He's just not quite close enough to make a move here on the Sauber of Too Much Too Elite and losing my grip at the moment. There's that much going on the track. And as a result, we're now towards turn 3 now. He's just not quite got the pace though to get close enough for that car. It seems that the Sauber is well hooked up for these conditions that are changeable. Going off the track at sector 1 chicane exit. That's lost in time on 2 Elite, and as a result of that, we do have the fast driving caterer of Tuppers starting to close the gap. So all of a sudden it's coming back closer again. The fast chicane now, Connor Eyes getting on the grip, pushing as hard as he can, as hard as he dares, trying to get that gap down towards Danny Pearce, down towards 2 Elites ahead of him. But again, 2 Elites just finding the traction at the moment, and possibly Connor's taking a bit too much out of his tyres, and as a result started to lose the grip. Oh, the grip's terrible. I listened to the sound of Connor's gears when he was driving on a corner. There is very little grip. I'd be in for a set of wets now if I were these guys, because the traction does not seem to be there. Here, Dan, we've had a very strange question posted on the stream. I want to hear your answer to this. Would you rather face 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck?
I just saw the question. I was thinking about it, but I'd rather face one horse-sized duck, I think.
Yeah, one bullet, 1 shot, game over.
Exactly. I feel like I could take 1 person on. If I had 100 people to take on, I'd probably get to about 86 and then fail.
Oh, you'd be very confident in your abilities there, taking out 14 of them.
Right, so we've got 23 laps to go. It has been a reasonably entertaining race. There'll be a few incidents that we'll look about after the race, which is a shame because there has been, on the whole, it's been fantastic driving. The start was fantastic.
Donna's got a fantastic, sorry to cut in, Donna's got a fantastic drive on Too Much Elite now. He's used to follow very good by Tuppers, who's following in the slipstream. Tuppers had to get out of it there, but look at this, Connorized on the inside at Jones chicane, and that's a fantastic performance. And now Tuppers is fancying to join the battle as well. Too Much Too Elite is under severe pressure here as Tuppers pulls out the slipstream to the right-hand side into turn 3. Just trying to thread the needle, but he just holds the high ground Elite there.
Yeah, it didn't have the space really to make that move, but now it's all split up again. They're not as closely bunched, so Tuppers looks like he can get the move done.
But right on board for now, but Tuppers has been having a lot of confidence issues with the pass, it would seem. He's been finding it more difficult to get closer to and passing the cars ahead of him than the other guys.
Definitely.
So that's going to be one of the factors. Oh, he all goes 4 tyres over the curb there. Got to be careful not to do that. A, because you'll spin out, and B, you're breaking the rules. Now, in the meantime, Tuppers getting very, very close to the back of Elite. Surely he can't go through here, not in the rain. Well, gone very wide.
He's got a good drive, though.
Yeah, it's like Hulkenberg had a soft career for real this season. He just needs to get drive up the corner. You just don't know where it's coming from. Oh, it's gone very wide there, Elite, and Tuppers goes, thank you very much. I will have a bit of that. Game over.
Yeah, Elite's pace has not been anywhere near as good in the wet as it was in the dry, and he's starting to pay for it. The positions are dropping, and we've got Danny Pearce, his teammate, who's about 5 seconds down on him in 10. Let's have a quick recap as to where everyone is. Got Andy leading the race, with F1 Knives in 2nd, XRL Lightning's doing well in 3rd place, Lewis Hamilton in 4th, Emu's doing well to be in 5th place. You can give that much.
Very well to come back from that. Very hard to come back from the positions.
Red Snapper's in last. When did this happen?
Don't ask me. TV director wasn't following it.
I do not know what happened there. That's odd. He was right up there fighting.
that's what happened. He was fighting.
Yeah, maybe. Jambo, Robbo, not in a point today, which is a shame because I thought they would do well. Danny Pearson,
And then
10th.
we got Perez.
Perez, obviously, yeah. DNF. But we'll get back to that. Connor, Tuppers in the mid pack, and they're getting points, which they thought they might not do. So,
You know, so everyone, you've got to turn up and you've got to race. That's the only way you can get the points at the end of the day. If you don't come here and you don't take part, you're not going to get anything. Now, looking at the track, it's got a lot dirtier, it's got a lot wetter, so I'm surprised that no one's dived in for wets here. I mean, if you're someone like Red Snapper, in fact, I wonder if that's what's happened. Has Red Snapper dived into the pits, put on the wet tyres, and got it badly wrong? Let's scroll back through the field and find out for you.
yeah, go for it. Nige is about...
No, he's not. Some people on the street talking about the result for the real life F1 race today. If you haven't seen it yet, well, too bad. What were you doing? Anyway,
you weren't missing much, were they?
To be fair, it wasn't a bad race for India.
No.
India's normally a lot worse race than that.
The nature of that track does mean that second and third sector are kind of just a procession.
Yeah, indeed. Well, speaking of something that's not a procession, Lewis Hamilton is now close right up to the back of XRL Lightning. He's very, very close indeed.
And Lightning
so
pits.
XRL Lightning's down in the pits. Now, right on board with Lightning, I want to see if he's going to be going in for wets or not.
Oh, I missed it. Right, let's get back on it. Right, so it's now just coming in. Emu will go past at this stage, and they've put another set of intermediates on, so...
So it's obviously feeling that they're too worn rather than not grippy enough.
Emu goes up to 4th then, so Emu's doing a very good job. Oh, is that...
It's a question of whether he can make these tyres last.
He's got a 5-second lag as well, and now WRL Rosberg's going to make a move. Is he? No, it's very close, but he just about holds on. But while those tyres get up to heat, he could be a sitting duck from Rosberg, who is going to the outside.
Just not got the traction to find on the outside. One thing this game doesn't simulate very well is the karting line. In the wet conditions, you can usually go on the out a lot wider and then come in that way to get more grip. And you don't seem to get that on this game. So I think that's what Roswell was trying to aim for. Try and go on the karting line and push out on the track that way. And look at the difference between him and Lightning. Now Lightning's just pulled away.
Those fresh tyres are
2015 that Honda are supplying the engines. McLaren have one more season with Mercedes, and people are wondering how McLaren will fare next season because of that, because they're going to be given practically no support, and it's at the start of the season when the engines change in the most radical way for about 10 years. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens for McLaren next season. Yes, Honda are here in 2015, and I can't wait for that. But curiously, Honda have already fired up a prototype of the V6 engine for their F1 program.
I heard that. I watched that last night.
Ferrari haven't.
Everyone there's a rumours going about that the Ferrari, they're going to struggle next year because of the engine.
There are rumours their engine's going to be quite down on power. But it's strange because if you drive the 80s cars on this one, they did have the turbo Ferrari in 1986, and it was a bloody fast car. So it seems strange that they have problems building a turbo engine now.
Yeah, I don't think people really know yet, do they?
I think the big thing for next year is weight. That's the one that's going to cause the biggest issue, in my opinion.
It's like Hulkenberg might not be making a seat. It's just like, that's crazy.
Pearce goes from 6 seconds a lap to 33 seconds. As Danny Pearce goes past his teammate Elite, who goes off the track at turn 3 and takes 9th place. Easy as you like.
Is it really going to 33 seconds, is it then? That's a lot.
That's what I've heard, yeah. It's going to be 33% of the lap.
That's ridiculous. That is a lot.
It's all about developing road engines for recovery systems and everything else, and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So that's why the weight limits have been increased, not just because the engines are going to be much heavier, because they've got to have turbos in them as well as the engine itself, and all the valves and the pistons and the camshafts and everything else. but then you've also got all the KERS batteries and everything else, so there's a lot more weight involved. And it's not, teams are saying that it's not because they're not going to make the minimum weight limit, it's because they want to meet the minimum weight limit, but have room to put ballast on it and change the balance of the car.
Yeah.
So if you've got a driver who weighs 74 kilos and a driver who weighs 56, you've got 16 kilos of ballast available for the 56 kilo driver. And that's the problem. That's why the big drivers are in problems at the moment.
It's going to be interesting to see where the seats go, and I think Massa will go to Williams, and then
big rumour at the moment.
it is something that's definitely grown pace. I think Hulkenberg, well, actually I think Maldonado will get that Lotus seat. I think they need money more than the driver.
It depends if the Venezuelan government don't arrest everybody for fraud, though.
That's true. It all comes down to that, but I would say if it all goes through by, then they'd pick Maldonado based purely on a money thing, you know.
Nige is in the pits, he's dived in now, coming into his box. I wonder what tyres he's gone for. He's gone for the intermediates as well, so evidently the drivers are still happy with the pace here on these tyres.
It's just a matter of getting a fresh set, a bit more rubber.
Yeah, definitely, especially with only 17 laps to go, so you can call it one long stint, but Emu's going to come out very close to him, and Nige has just gone through the first chicane as Emu starts it. So the question is, if those tyres aren't to temperature, Nige may find himself under pressure from one of his biggest challenges initially from last season. And of course, Nige, he started the season not the way he wanted. Obviously, he didn't want to qualify ninth, and he certainly wants to be at the front. But he's managed to come through the field to third place.
He's done well.
And he's showing the pace to hold it on. And sometimes that's all you need. Well, here's an interesting rumour I want to start about F1 for you all. I reckon that in 2015, Ross Brawn's going to go to McLaren.
Yeah, I've got to agree with that. I think it's about 80% certain, I think now.
Two reasons for that for me. First of all, McLaren have really overhauled the technical department, including stealing one of the guys from Red Bull, which is always good.
Yes,
but also because of the Honda engines. But one ill-forgotten fact regarding Brawn's construction championship in 2009 is 100 million quid of it came from Honda.
That is very true. That's the thing, they really need, Mercedes don't need all the personnel that they've got there. They've got so many like chief directors and like whatever.
It's because they're trying to get, ultimately they want to be seen as the championship team. It's why they've gone for one of the most highly rated drivers in the shock move of the century in many ways when they attempted Hamilton to join them. It's why they've gone for getting the likes of Bob Bell and the likes of Jeff Willis and Paddy Lowe and all to join them. They want to have the best potential team. However, Adrian Newey has shown that sometimes you need to have a few guys who've got the right nous and a team that are closely knit together. So that's going to be, and of course beating Dewey, that's going to be almost impossible.
Yeah.
When it comes to affecting new regulations, he's one of the best. And if Ross Brawn's not involved next season, Mercedes might struggle.
You have to say that if Red Bull start to lose a few more members of their team, then they might be not such a threat. Yes, everyone talks about Newey, but it's the whole sort of design team. And remember, it's not just Newey. He is a great guy, and I think he is the reason why the championships are won.
I'm sorry to take us back on track for the topic of the race, but Tuppers has done an awful middle stint in this lap, and Danny Pearce has gone up the inside at Mansell and taken him for taking 8th place.
Yeah.
Tuppers has suddenly lost all pace all of a sudden. And I wonder if his tyres have reached the end of the life and he's thinking of going into the pits here. Because Danny Pearce just drove around him, literally like he wasn't there. Well, then Danny Pearce makes a mistake at the Prost hairpin and almost goes off. So Tuppers is joining the battle once again in 9th place, about 2 seconds adrift of Tuppers at the moment. And this is the closest battle on track at the moment, viewers.
Rain looks like it's stopping though.
That's the thing, yeah, if the rain doesn't look like it's stopping, we've got the situation of what do? Do you change your tyres and go for the options or what? I mean, yeah, look at the amount of drift. They're not getting as much spray off the tyres. Are we going to see someone who's got nothing to lose gamble here? You're going back through the field. You've got Robbo, who's like about 5 seconds adrift to first 10th place. He's got almost nothing to lose because he's like at the edge of the point. He's not going to get anything anyway. So I reckon they might just gamble soon.
Where's Red Snapper in all of this then? He is about 15 seconds down on Jambo in 12th. Then you've got Robbo about 2 or 3 seconds ahead of Jambo, but they're miles between him and Elite. There is realistically a point in it for Robbo if he does the strategy right. If he gets the right strategy call, then yes. But this last sector looks quite wet.
Sector 3 is still very wet. Yeah. Sector 3 is very wet. Sector 1's very dry. We're in that awkward crossover period here. Just what do you do?
Yeah, look how much spray is coming up from those tyres still.
But then if you go further into Sector 1, that spray stops. Or weakens severely. Like, going on from here, completely different. Well, I'm sorry to say that unfortunately the race has become quite spread out at the moment, and there's not many cars close together, so the action on track has kind of wilted away a bit towards the end. It's a bit of a damp ending, unfortunately, no pun intended.
Oh God!
Needless to say, I said no pun intended, it wasn't a joke. Now, XRL Lightning, meanwhile, might be spicing things up soon though, because he's only a few seconds adrift of confused Emu. So it might be possible we might see a scrap coming shortly, depending on the pace of Lightning related to Emu. But just going back to today's race anyway, one of the talking points was at the end of the race. This isn't much of a spoiler because you all probably knew this anyway, but Sebastian Vettel won the race. And after the race, normally whenever it comes under FIA rules, you go straight to the pits and then you go into park firm and you get weighed and you follow the rules to the letter. Well, Red Bull and, Vettel more than Red Bull, to be honest, decided to do a bit of showboating on the main straight, right in front of the grandstand, did tons of donuts, and then started bowing in front of the car. It was fantastic showmanship, really awesome way to celebrate. And immediately his team get fined 25 grand, and he's told you got a reprimand, don't do it again. What's with taking entertainment out of the sport? What's the obsession with that? I don't get it.
But that's part of the reason, I think. Well, it might be that they're losing attendance figures in terms of people watching it. Yeah, it is quite.
Would you rather watch someone who's won a race come out and start showing off and waving to the crowd and tossing his gear and saying, "Oh, thank you, you've all been wonderful," or would you rather watch someone park up and go, "Thank you very much, good night"?
Don't care. They just sort of show that they don't care for the fans, then, isn't it?
Exactly. It's like going back to Webber and Alonso in Singapore, for instance. Yeah, you can argue that the marshals didn't give permission. I know a race marshal, and I know how dangerous that can be. Fair enough. I can understand it from that perspective. But at the same time, I can also understand the fact that, I saw a picture posted by Mark Webber on his Twitter account of a driver giving a lift to 3 different drivers. You had 2 guys sat on the side pods and 1 guy sat over the airbox, driving back to the pits. It's like, yeah. Look, fantastic.
Lightning's struggling quite a bit on those tyres. They're just like, it's just revving up. The car is just revving up.
I think the problem is,
and we've got people in the pits now.
Well, that'll be interesting. Who's decided to gamble on the tyres here then? A lot of intermediates on in the midfield, but WR Rosberg's gone on to the option tyres. Now, Elite is right behind him on the intermediates. in 9th place. So this will be a good duel to follow, because there's only about a second and a half between them, and this will underline whether the time is right to be switching tyres. Here, WR Rosberg certainly got an advantage. Look at Elite there. Nearly spun it completely round 360. He's absolutely no grip here. And into the chicane again. He's not confident on the brakes. He's not confident in the steering wheel. And look at WR Rosberg. He has gone. That's at least 2 seconds gained in 1 second.
2 seconds in 1 second. That is very good. In 1 second. What's that?
Well, it's 2 seconds in 1 second of movement. I don't know. I'm not a physicist. Who cares? But the main thing here now is that Elite's really losing time through these 2 sectors. Now the question is sector 3 wet enough for it to be too dangerous to be on those option tyres? You know what? I don't think it is. Looking here, there's a bit of spray, but it's manageable. And it's a bit greasy here. You can see that there, that corner.
Yeah, he's just gone off a little bit there, hasn't he? But
if I was Elite, I'd be in.
Get in, yeah, get in. He's just you can just visually see it that it's not right. Danny Pearce in 7th has gone, and he's pitted.
Colorised in the 10th place on the prime tyres. He's in 8th place, sorry now.
7th.
Danny Pearce has come through on the option tyres. Very nearly crossed the white line there. Got away with it.
Right, so we will start to see where all of these cars line up, and he is still on the intermediate, but he's got such a big lead. Nige is a whole sector down. And
the point is, though, if those tyres start to go off in that second sector, all of a sudden you start spinning up the rears, you possibly start spinning off. But you look at the XRL Lightning's going all over the place on those option tyres of his.
He's
and
losing.
Emu on the primes, so this will be an interesting duel. We've got prime versus option for 4th and 5th.
Why would you not go on the options? At 9 laps is very doable on a pair of options at the end of the race.
Well, XRL Lightning is on the option tyres, but at the same time, Emu's pulling away. Emu's not giving up here. He's really in a good position to move on. But at the same time, though, XRL Lightning's got the DRS flat. He's opened it coming down towards turn 3.
And he stays out.
And he stayed out. Now that's interesting.
He's just set a low 31.
That's rubbish.
Good. That's nice and blunt and straight to the point there.
That's
rubbish.
That's a shocking lap.
Well, yeah, it's this first part of the lap where Andy struggles and he's really taking his time to get onto the power there.
Well, meanwhile, Hamilton now, he's in 2nd place and he's coming up towards Mansell. So, meanwhile, up ahead of him, Andy, yeah, he's coming up to the end of sector 1, so he's got a long way ahead of him. But if he gets it wrong through these 2 sectors now, he could lose so much time that it all goes away. Because even with the water that's still on track in sector 3, Hamilton will be closing him down. Because like you said that he's just on a low 31, well, Hamilton's just split their time beams now at 26.5, a full 5 seconds faster.
The lap times are only going to get slower from Andy from here on out. The good thing is he's now got to the the wetter part of the track. Sorry, so this is more of his cup of tea.
Let's see what he does here, because coming through now towards Prost.
I think that's maybe what's keeping him out. That's what's keeping him out. Just the fact that it's still wet in this last sector. It gives him the confidence to make some things.
Lap times.
28,
29, 30.
High 30s.
Yeah, that's 4.5. That's a 4-second loss. A lap. I mean, now, you just seen him.
He's now been overtaken. He's just been overtaken by Danny Pearce. Is that, I think?
F1 Nigel's chasing down Hamilton. If he's been unlapped by someone on options, that's got to tell you, right, I have to dive into the pits now.
So How long is it for a pit stop here? About 20 seconds, would you say?
Yes, so he's got time, but he has to do it now. If he doesn't do it now, he could find himself losing time by a fraction enough. Hamilton's just split the beams now on a 25.6. He's gained even more time, but the lead is 50 seconds. So unless Andy makes a big mistake, he's easily going to come out in the lead. And look at the tyres. Those tyres of Andy's look absolutely shot. Surely Andy's got enough time to get into the pits. He's got nothing to gain by staying out. It's not like he's leaked up from third to first or anything like that. He has literally nothing to gain. But he's still staying out. He's refusing to give up. But theoretically, he's got enough pace in the bag. A 50-second lap, 50-second gap, and he's 5 seconds lap slower, he'd just make it on pace. But that's based on the fact that if his tyres get too much hotter, they'll start burning out. They might even puncture.
He may spin. There's no water on that track now.
Nothing at all. I mean, Hamilton now is just.
He's just been overtaken by a caterer there.
That's Tupper's got to be.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm riding on board with Hamilton now. He's just coming through the cross chicane. Had a slightly scruffy lap actually here, Hamilton. It's not been the best lap, but that's not the point. There goes the curse. There goes the flap. He's just at a 25.4. It is his best lap.
He took 7 seconds out of that lap.
Exactly. And he's gonna get passed by him if he doesn't get into the pits. If he doesn't get
If
into
he
the
leaves
pits
it
now,
another lap, it's going to be awfully close. If he does not hit this lap.
Another 7
Ooh!
seconds.
And he really is struggling now.
He's got to go into the pits. He's seen people passing him on slick tyres. Guys who are well not near his pace. And there's no, look at the water there, it's almost dry. It's time to dive in the pits, and if he doesn't do it now,
He's just
then he wants...
He just
Look at that, he's been pushed off.
No.
And he's in now. He's finally made it in.
Yeah.
Right, well, this is where it gets interesting. Hamilton now is nowhere near him. He's only just come to the end of Sector 2. So he's still going to come out behind Ice Cold Andy by quite a way.
He'll be about 10 seconds down. Something like that.
But has Andy got very little confidence in the tyres in these conditions? If he has, then it might still be a chance for Hamilton to do a repeat of last year and steal an unlikely first race victory.
Right, so they're both on the same straight. They're both on the
Hamilton's
start.
just coming up to the split the beams now. Oh, this is going to be very, very close indeed.
Yeah, that gap's not massive. It's about 8 seconds.
That gap's not a lot, you're right, exactly. That's not a big gap at all. If he just stayed out for one more lap, he'd be staring at the back of that cater room.
Yeah.
He cut that as fine as it possible.
I think that
Sauber. No need.
I think that Sauber overtaking him on the inside made him just realise.
Well, he got overtaken twice before by the sister Sauber and by Tuppers in the cater room. In fact, as soon as one of them passed me, I'd be in the pits. I'd be like, right, hang on, why are you overtaking me? Oh, you're on those tyres. Right, thank you, I'll have that. In. You have to react. It's like when you see guys real when they dive into the pits and immediately a lap later they're in straight away. So they react to the rubber that's being put on by the rivals. And that's what you have to do. You have to control and react to the race. That's called Andy has got pretty much the straight and a half of gap here. His outlap was a 1:31.6. His outlap, coming out of the pits, was faster than his lap on the intermediates. Surely that's a wake-up call.
Hamilton's just done another quickest lap of the race, 24.6.
He'll be pushing on as hard as he dares. So these guys are really pushing each other along, hammer and tongs. And Andy has got a bit of extra space, though. The gap appears to have opened up there.
Yeah, just a bit, hasn't it? Lightning's in P4, P5 is Emu all over. Is that Lightning is all over the back of? It is. P4 and 5 is the battle we're looking at for the last few laps of the race. Emu, I think, has been overtaken by Lightning. Lightning on
the option tyres.
They
could go off in the last 2 laps. Lap 57 or even lap 58. Talk about heartbreak. So it's quite possible they could completely go. And the Emu getting right at the back towards the end of sector 1. Oh, he's got it wide there though. And that gives Lightning a better slingshot out of the corner down towards the slow chicane at the end of sector 2. So Emu's got to be patient. He can't get the red mist. There he goes, kissing the grass again. Needless junk on his tyres, needless debris. Not what you were wanting as a driver. And
hold the curves. Keep nice and close and you might get a chance because of the DRS.
Wide there, he's getting right on the ragged edge here, Emu. He's going all out attack. He knows he's only got 4 laps to pass. He knows he has to make it stick now. And a bit of dust being kicked up by both drivers there. They're literally pushing the track to its limits and beyond. Coming down to the Frost hairpin now. Bit of an extra bit of curve used there by Lightning. Slowed him down, poor traction off the corner. Emu deploys the curves. There goes the flap. But he's closing there's the over. And
here he goes.
He got enough to get to stop at Jones. On the brakes. Oh, they've got back there. Got away with it though. Down through Bravo now towards turn 3.
He's just a bit too far off this time. Needs to hold the curves. He gets on the grass again under braking.
There was the contact, that's what did it. What he needs to be doing here, Emu, is he needs to be thinking, I will use the curves off the lap, then I'll use a little bit of curves as we get the fresh shot to get close as possible into Jones and Brabham, and then be right under his wing for that second DRS zone down towards turn 3. That's what I'd do. And many people on the stream will probably go in, no wonder you're retired if you're driving like that. It's the fast chicane, a bit of traffic out of it.
This traffic might actually help Lightning.
Well, if he gets DRS off it, it certainly will. It's a question of how fast they come onto it.
No, he won't.
Traffic pulling out of the way.
Red Snapper doing the right thing is sort of...
I'm not involved, I'm getting out of the way.
Right.
And Lightning's pushing right on. And it's the hairpin, he's gone over the inside again, Lightning. He's taking the dirty line. And here comes
he's
the
got 4 bar, here we go. This is what we're talking about.
There goes the flap. Oh, he's got defence to the inside, Lightning.
No, you ain't got a chance this time, have you?
And he's got to make sure he stops the car into Jones. He just does it. Now, is he going to be able to use the DRS and the curves to pull away? It looks like the flap's open, and he's opening that gap on Lightning. And that's job done for now.
Lightning's all there, though.
Lightning's not giving up, is he? Coming through turn 5. Oh, he's just having to let this go now. But Emu's gone very wide though, and that's going to put some junk on his tyres into the slow chicane. Lightning thinking about the inside pass. My God, that's brazen and brash. I think he's lining him up down towards the slow chicane. Surely not. He's not close enough here. Backing out of it at the right time now, Lightning.
Oh, he loses the back there. Use some curves. Get away, Emu. There you go. He's got about an 8/10 gap lead. If he's on it, use the curves out of the exit, he might be able to get himself out of DRS.
Motorsport nerd, this race is too exciting to hype up your appearance on GP2 with Red Snapper. Coming up now towards P4 is XRL Lightning looking to try and chase Emu down. It's gone very wide in towards the Frost hairpin, but Emu, once again, Lightning's taking too much of the inside curve, and it's ruining his traction off the corner. But he's got the DRS surprisingly. He's a bit too far away though, and surely that gap's going to go
24-3 for Amy, that is a good lap.
Oh, we've got a bit of mudslinging on the stream here, saying it'd be a different story if people didn't have assists on. At the end of the day, the rules are there about what assists are allowed and not allowed, and it's up to you as a driver which ones you use. XRL Lightning has dropped back a bit from Emu now. I think Emu's just done enough here to hold position. But then again, we see stranger things happen. So who knows what's going to go on to the final things. Conor Rice is doing well in P7, and he's only just holding off Danny Pearce, who's in the Sister Sauber. trying to push on to take the position from him. These guys are quite close together, and Danny Pearce knows he's got one chance, one shot to take that position back. Coming out the end of sector 1, coming towards the slow chicane, and Conor Rice goes defensive to the inside. Danny Pearce thinks about it, just backs out, avoiding contact in the back of Conor Rice there. And now coming down towards the fast chicane at the end of sector 2. Danny Pearce got an excellent run here. If he can make these tyres last, he might be able to do a last lap banzai move. Oh, a wonderful drive off the chicane there for Danny Pearce into the slipstream, pulls out to the left. Can he get it done into Mansell? This is going to be brave. Oh, a bit of contact there from both drivers. But Danny Pearce on the side-by-side going into Hill. This is fantastic stuff. Down in towards Prost now. And Danny Pearce has just had to back out of it here. But he's going to definitely have the DRS. This is last chance saloon for the Sauber driver. Can he take 7th place glory? And now he's not got DRS.
Neither of them have. I think they crossed together.
A dead heat on DRS. This is literally a shootout. Who can hold the line best? Conor Rice goes too wide at Brabham.
This is
and a fantastic piece of drive from Danny Pearce on the inside. Can he hold it for turn 3? He can. He's gone through into 7th place for now, but Conor Rice is right behind him, and he's determined to take that place back before the second flag falls into turn 5. Conor Rice hugging the inside line as tight as possible. Danny Pearce getting very, very ragged as a win falls. The checkered flag is taken by Ice Cold Andy. Look at this now. Conor Rice is less than 2 tenths behind to Danny Pearce here. This is very, very, very close into the slow chicane at the end of sector 2. Conor Rice goes for it. Both drives touch each other, but they get away with it. No guys spin, and Danny Pearce has got a superb drive off. Conor Rice is going to need to absolutely nail this final chicane if he's going to have any hope of taking that place back.
He hasn't. He's took too much pace on the entry.
He's gone too wide at the exit, too much junk on his tyres. And as we go down to Mansell, Danny Pearce holds all the aces in this poker game. Great piece of driving off of Conor Rice to push his maximum attack right on the ragged edge. It always is fabulous stuff, but I think he's going to have to give up the fight and look to fight another day. Danny Pearce goes round Prost, so does Conor Rice. It's into the final corner, and unfortunately it's too little too late for Conor Rice. And Danny Pearce, fantastic try to steal that 7th place on the last lap.
Toppers is going to get a couple of points, good to see, and Robbo gets the final point, so at least he got something. Too much of lead in 11th, who's the only other driver not to be lapped, and he'll be not picking up any points today, unfortunately. But Ice Cold Andy, the pace was fantastic, and actually Lewis Hamilton lost a place on tyre wear towards the end to Nide, who was 14 and a half, saying down on the winner in the end.
Have we found a new Vettel versus Alonso here with
I think these two are going to be good this season.
To get on the podium.
These two are going to be good for the...
Well, we'll see if we can get these guys in for the final post-race performance here, because these two have been absolutely fantastic.
Oh, it's been fantastic, yeah. There's been good racing throughout. There's been a couple of little bits and pieces, but on the whole, it's been great racing. And yeah,
everybody else in. Well, first of all, Lewis, well done on the podium, but you were in second place in the final part of the race there. What happened to finally put you down to the bottom step of the podium?
Yeah, I hit, touched the grass. I touched the grass and halfway through the lap, sector 2, and then it went straight to gravel.
So you just lost that final crucial thing at the worst possible moment?
Got to. Yeah, I got the pace to pull away from ninth, in the last. And then I just overconfident, and then wow.
Well, say it's a good race all round. Great effort. Thank you very much, Hamilton. Well, Nige, last season's champion, starting from P9. Did you expect it was going to be easy to finish second?
Maybe not second. Maybe not second podium, but podium. I mean, the weather came. I ended up getting second into the lap further down the order. I'm pretty happy overall.
But I mean, you've got a very tough challenger here in Ice Cold Andy. You certainly seems to have a lot of pace. How are you going to be going back to the drawing board to try and get yourself sweet and bring them on the pain next week in Malaysia?
No, not really. No, not really. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Congratulations to Andy, but I'll be doing nothing.
Excellent. Well, as I'm sure we're going to be looking for an insane duel between the pair here. Well, I scored Andy. Dave Vuitton, pole position, and the race win. Wonderful.
Yeah, definitely. It was a fun race. I certainly provided some entertainment for you guys in the last couple of laps by deciding to stay out a couple of laps on the inters.
We called it at least 4 laps earlier.
But I tell you, there was a reason behind that, okay? I wasn't sure. I was going to stick on the options at the end, but I wasn't sure how long they were going to last. Because knowing the tyres in this game. So I did as long as I could where I knew I could stay ahead. And then I just stuck on the options at the end and then try and do a fastest lap. But for most of the race, I was quite happy with my pace for most of the race. Sorry to Emu, who I think he had a front wing problem, didn't he, or something like that?
Yeah, I think he was unfortunate to be caught with one of the lagging cars, I'm afraid. So at his pace, he had to start for 5th place.
Yeah, but once I got past, I had obviously after my pit stop, I had to get past Pierce, so I was really happy with the move. I pulled off on him around the outside into that corner, and then Nige, then past Nige later on. So, and then that was pretty much it as far as position was going. Unless I'd stayed out for another lap, in which case I would have had to fight my way back up. But no, it was a good race. Exciting start. Like I was a bit shocked when Emu was still keeping extending his lead, even though he was on 8 or 9 lap old options and I was on 8 or 9 lap old primes. So it was an interesting race to say the least.
Well, excellent. Well, congratulations to all three getting the maximum points you could here at the opening race. Now, of course, tomorrow night you've got the GP2 race, 8 o'clock live on Channel 1. On Tuesday we've got GP3 live at 8 o'clock also on the Channel 1. And then on Wednesday we've got the double header of the F4 and the F5000 in simulation cast. And all we've got to say is that next week we find ourselves at Sepang, Malaysia. It's going to be a corker. Thank you all very much. And good night.
As you heard from Swishbone right there, it's a bit lagging, or echoing, because of Mr. Ice Cold Andy's headset. But anyway, as Swishbone was saying, or Pete was saying, we've got GP2 tomorrow night to see the likes of me, Turtle Roberts and LGS racing around Melbourne. Hopefully it won't be raining. Hopefully I'll be whooping Turtle Roberts' ass because he's not that good. I know you're listening. GP3 on Tuesday, live on Channel 1 on our Excite Racing League service. That'll be on Tuesday, 8 o'clock. I won't be there. It'll be F1 Speed doing the stream. And then on F4 and F5, F4 will be on Channel 1, whilst F5000 is on Channel 2. I believe I'm on the Channel 2 on that night, so you'll have either me or Red Snapper or F1 Speed doing the Channel 1. But it's been fantastic. Ice Cold Andy's lived up to the expectations. But it hasn't been all his own way. It should be a really exciting season for the season ahead, and especially in the F1 division. And we hope to see you all racing throughout the week. So until tomorrow night, see you then. our Excite Racing League streaming service is becoming bigger and better than ever before. Now we've got our new Excite Racing League Channel 2 on Twitch, with Classics F1 on Thursday nights, as well as Wednesday nights for the current F1 League season, F4 and F5. As well as this, we have awesome recordings on Saturday nights, so there is a wealth of action on this channel. So follow Excite Racing League _ Channel 2 on Twitch today.
By becoming a premium member, you will get priority over which team you drive for during the following season, setup and strategy advice from one of our own F1 division drivers. Entry into the monthly competition is included, with great prizes to be won each month. This includes the chance to win prizes from our sponsors GT Omega Racing and GamesMod.co.uk. 800 Microsoft points are also available to be used for creating your very own XRL gamer tag, but it doesn't end there. You'll also get entry into the XRL Fantasy F1 League competition. There's also a 10% discount on all store items, the Members Zone and Premium Forum privileges, and also some exclusive podcasts and newsletters. All of this and more can be yours for just